good afternoon, and welcome back. Today I have a very special thing, really for myself, but if you're here to watch the video, I assume that you're also excited about this particular product. I've raved and raved about the Sony Xperia 5 Mark III, and today I have the fortunate privilege of unboxing the Sony Xperia Mark IV. So it arrived this morning, and I was a little shocked to see the FedEx man at the house before 9 a.m. I mean, I get the text messages letting me know that the package is out for delivery, and normally it says, you know, sometime before 6 or 7 p.m. or something, and I don't think I've ever received a package before 10 a.m. So I was shocked to see, as I'm rolling up from the gym, the FedEx man pulling up in front of the house. And in fact, it looked like he was about to leave, as if maybe he had attempted to knock on the door already. So I was like, oh crap, I'm glad. I'm waving, you know, out the window, telling him that I'm the person that lives there. So yeah, good on them for getting it here so quickly and making sure that everything goes according to plan. But here we have it. Let's go ahead and start this unboxing. All right, and here we have it. Yeah, I hope I'm in the frame as I will continue to talk about until I find a solution, which this phone might be the solution, since I don't have my reference monitor that I was using with the Samsung Galaxy S22. I'm kind of guessing. Like, I know I'm physically in the frame, but what exactly are you seeing as I do this? So looking around on the packaging, everything's still sealed. And one notable thing, which I'll point out in a moment when I actually take this over to the desk, is yeah, it's proud that there's no plastic in the packaging. So I don't know if you can see that right there, but yeah, no plastic in the packaging. All right, so let's take this over to the desk and we will get started. All right, we are back. And here we have the Xperia. And before I open it, just to give you guys some reference, here's the box from the Xperia 5 Mark III. So can I get that centered? Yeah, I can. And you can see it's roughly half the size. In here, I believe there was the charging block, as well as the cable, the phone, some plastic, of course. And they've gotten rid of all of that. So I already know it's going to be in this box. In fact, can you see actually the differences in size? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good representation. Yeah, you can see that stuff. But I already know what's inside of this. I think it's literally just the phone. Thinking about how some of these other companies are reducing the number of items in the box, part of me is, you know, bothered, but at the same time, if I were to open that Sony box right now, for the Xperia 5 Mark III, let me get this off camera real fast. Got the eye eyes and all that over here. There we go. Let me be quiet while I open this up. Yeah, let me stop talking while I open this. Let's try that one more time. All right, so as I was saying, if I were to open the Sony Xperia 5 Mark III box, which, you know, let's go ahead and do that, the amount of stuff that's still in here that I'm not using are exactly the things that they are no longer including in the box. So I know we're going to finish with the Xperia 5 Mark IV, but still in the box, and you have the charger, and in here is the charging cable. So yeah, I don't blame companies for no longer including those things, because we end up using third-party stuff or reusing things from previous years. So here we have the Xperia 5 Mark IV. Still has the the paper on the front. Ooh, let me slide that out of the way. Let's see if you can hear as I take this off. Oh, feels weird. Not the phone, just the paper. All right, and there we have it. So the Sony Xperia 5 Mark IV. Let's turn it on. There's any juice. Got the little flash right there. Got a little vibration. Just let that sit right there. While that's working, to give some context, here's the Sony Xperia 5 Mark III. So it looks like they're very similar in size. I know the screen sizes are the same, but the fourth generation of this phone has squared off sides. So already I'll be able to tell you that the feel in the hand is going to be a little different. So putting the third generation aside, let's hold this in the hand, and yeah, the squared sides, definitely the way to go. Everything from the iPhone 12 on, the Galaxy S22, the Zen phone. Yeah, having those squared sides definitely aids in comfort when it comes to holding the device. So I'll go ahead and just set this up. Aware of that. Skip that. And as I always do with phones when I set up for the first time, I just run through everything and just make sure everything's working as it's supposed to. I'll actually connect to a network and do all that stuff later on when I actually start using this full time. So, get reminder, and you're ready to go. All right, there we have it. Ooh, that is a very beautiful display. I don't know how good the camera on this Pixel 7 is picking this up, but yeah, this is a really, really beautiful display. And I don't think I use that word a lot to describe screens, but one reason that I was so, I guess, set on buying the third generation of the phone, so here on the left, is because online it talks about how good the screen is. 120 hertz, it's able to produce 1 billion colors, and of course 1080p as opposed to the Xperia 1 Mark IV or Mark III that I believe is a 4K panel. But just looking at the screen, man, like it's popping, and it's not popping in the way that Samsung displays pop, where I feel like they're overly colored and animated. They're a lot better now than they used to be, but still, that's a different type of, I guess, saturation compared to this. And just looking at this, oh man, this looks really good. So if I could, in fact, I'm going to pause it real fast. I wanted to retrieve the Zen phone. So on the left, we have the Zen phone, and on the right, we have the Xperia 5 Mark IV. So both considered compact phones by today's standards, I'd say. Yeah, the Zen phone is just a little shorter, but also I believe, yeah, from holding it, I can definitely tell it's a little wider. Yeah, but as you can see, and I didn't do this on purpose, but one thing I've been complaining about in several of the videos is the fact that a lot of these phones don't have headphone jacks. And as you can see, both devices still have their headphone jacks. So that is absolutely exhilarating. So I will be getting a lot of use out of the headphone jack on this Xperia when I make it my main device. But for the time being, I think that's all that we have for this particular unboxing. In fact, let me just come back over here to the actual box. I mean, yeah, there's nothing else in here except for this paper. Letting you know how to include or insert your SIM cards. And that is it. Yep, any regulatory stuff? Nope. YouTube, Facebook stuff, social media things. All right, well, I appreciate you watching. And just like with all of the other devices that I have been using recently, in the coming days, I'll post a maybe first 24 hours experience or just do my iteration of an actual review after owning numerous Sony Xperias over my lifetime. I can already tell you I'm going to like it. Like, unless there's something wrong inherently with this individual device, yeah, I know I'm going to like the phone. So, but I'll still want to give you more details as to why I like it. But thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and I will catch you on the next one. Ooh, yeah, really good feeling. Yeah, really good feeling. Actually, let me talk a little more about the actual phone. I mean, yes, of course, we unboxed it and we were able to see what it looks like. But I do think it's important because, at least for me, I was hesitant to purchase the newer one because I was saying, well, I'm not opening the apps right now. I have the third generation of the phone, so how much more of an improvement am I going to feel over the third generation that when I get the fourth? But one thing I can say that I do like are the backs. Looking at the fourth generation, it's more of a matte finish as opposed to this shiny glossy one, and you can see all types of fingerprints. And not that it's that big of a deal because the phone's in a case the majority of the time anyway, but it is nice just having a matte back. Like, I don't think there's really a need to have these mirrored backs that a lot of these phones have. As I was saying before, the sides are squared off as opposed to rounded. And we can see that right here where these sides are flat. In fact, just to get it so it's on the same side. Yep. You can see, yeah, sides on the Xperia 5 Mark IV are flat compared to rounded like this. But we have the same buttons, your volume rockers up and down. Then we have our power buttons with the embedded fingerprint reader. And then we have, I believe, on the 5 Mark III, this was a dedicated Google Assistant button. What happens if I press it? Yep, lights up on the screen. So a dedicated Google Assistant button, which it looks like they realized probably wasn't the most beneficial thing. So on the Xperia 4, the Xperia 5 Mark IV, they got rid of it. Then we have the dedicated camera buttons. So of course these are Sony phones. They want to let you know that they take pride in their cameras. Now here's one difference. On the bottom, we have the headphone, sorry, not the headphone jacks, the USB-C ports, USB 3 point something. I'll take a look later to see exactly what type of speeds we can expect. However, the SIM tray is down here on the bottom on the Xperia 5 Mark IV, whereas on the Xperia 5 Mark III, it's on this side of the phone up here. So why did they decide to move it? I don't know, but they did. So that's that. And as I pointed out before with the Zenfone, the headphone jacks that remain on these devices. So I am extremely, extremely excited to have this and was very surprised to see the FedEx man here at the house at about 8:45 in the morning. So I do think now that that is it. And yeah, I'm going to run it through its paces and let you know my opinions of the device. Thank you very much for watching.